About outrageous sex education. This morning I read an article about a sex ed program in Helena, Montana, and apparently radicals thought it was just outrageous. I googled outrageous sex education just because I wanted to see what would happen, and I immediately thought, oh, I'm gonna get a lot of porn, but it didn't. The first hit said outrageous sex education curriculum, and it was in capital letters, and it was based from Helena, Montana, which is a small town in Montana in the United States. Okay, so I'm just going to read you a couple of snippets from it, and then I want to talk about it. I'm actually going to write an article about this for the Phoenix, my school newspaper, and I will be blogging as well. I just wanted to make a vlog because I haven't vlogged in a while, so let's go on. Okay, so this is called Outrageous Sex Ed Program in Helena, Montana. Sex Ed, going to Helena Handbasket, which I think is really funny. But essentially, it goes through and says that sex education is taking too much of a liberal sexual ideology, and it's no longer just in big cities, but it's in the small towns too. So there's actually a posting to the K to 12 health curriculum, and I'm going to look specifically at page 45 and read you a couple of the sections of it. And it says it would teach kindergarteners the name of female and male sex organs, first graders about homosexuality, and fifth graders about oral or anal penetration. Oral or anal penetration? Okay, so pick one. Which one's worse? No, I'm kidding. Okay. It would also teach sixth graders about sex changes. The high schoolers would be taught to understand erotic images in art. So I want to talk about all of these things. They claim that these lessons are not age appropriate and that there's no need to address specifically the issue of homosexuality and diverse families in first graders, and there's no need to give oral and anal penetration definitions to fifth graders. So that's what was argued, and I watched a YouTube video on a couple of the debates. There are many. I encourage you to go on because they both sides present some very relevant and credible ideas. But let's look at let's focus on my educational opinion because that's the one that is correct. That's the one that I'm going to adopt because I'm amazing. So if I pull up the curriculum right here, right now I'm looking at the page that says Functions and Interrelationships of Systems from the Helena, Montana Health Curriculum draft. So it's just a draft of it, but it gives you a bit of the gist of the health curriculum. So this is human sexuality. The problem they have in kindergarten is apparently saying the words penis and vagina to a 5 or 6 year old is just outrageous. Okay, I'm here to tell you that no, it's not. I'm here to tell you that if you say the words penis and vagina in a very matter-of-fact manner to a 5-year-old, that is going to become a familiar, comfortable, okay part of vocabulary. And when they hear it later on in maybe a different context, it's not going to freak them out. They're just going to be familiar with it. So I believe that this is actually a good thing, that we should be teaching our kids at a young age to be familiar with sexuality. Grade 1, the issue they had was understand human beings can love people of the same gender and people of another gender. One of the individuals on the YouTube video claimed that, I'll get the name for you and post it on the blog, but he claimed that if you say this to kids, they're gonna have friends who are of the same sex, so they're gonna automatically think they're gay. Okay, can we back up a minute here? First of all, who said that sexual orientation was a nurture concept? I believe you are born gay, straight, bi, etc. You are born with your sexual orientation. Regardless of when you figure out when you are what you are, it won't be influenced negatively by knowing that humans can love people of the same sex. And two, when kids are young, they love everyone. So yeah, at 6 years old, they're not going to be looking to fall in love. I mean, some might, but then you've got another situation on your hands, right? In grade 2, people should understand that making fun of people by calling them gay, for example, homo, queer, is disrespectful and hurtful. I do not think this is a bad thing. I think, of course, we do need to realize that just respect for everyone in general. I'm reading through this entire curriculum, K to 12, and the goal pretty much cross curriculum is respect. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. Props, Helena, Montana, health curriculum policymakers, because I think this is a very beautiful curriculum. It's quite bold for a small town, but get on board. It's called realism. The issue about erotic imagery. Under grades 9 to 12, it says students will understand erotic images and art, reflect society's views about sexuality, and help people understand sexuality. I don't know what I should comment on here. 9 to 12. Grades 9 to 12, you're 14 to 17, essentially, give or take a couple of years. But essentially, you're a teenager. You've seen movies. Hello, people. Okay. Let's get real about it, okay? This is not an outrageous curriculum. An outrageous curriculum would be if the teacher was naked. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to be blogging a lot about this topic, probably more than one blog, because I have a hell of a lot to say. And I'm going to compare it to the Canadian guidelines for sexual education, and I'm going to compare CCAN to CICUS, which is the Sexual Information Education Council of Canada, and same, but in the United States, because a lot of the goals are represented in this curriculum, which I think is fantastic. A little radical, okay, maybe, but not really. I mean, grade 5, teaching grade 5's oral and anal penetration, okay, I personally think it's fantastic, and I'm going to tell you why in my blog and maybe in another blog shortly. But yeah, until next time, this curriculum illustrates how you can be safe sexually speaking.